Hello everybody, this is Mark at M7 Tuning. Today we're going to put a turbo heat shield on a 2013 Countryman here. This is our in-house development car, but it'll fit any turbo application 2007 to 2013. Regular R56, 57, 58, 59, any turbo cars 2007 up. So we'll show you how easy this is. 15-minute installation, piece of cake. You'll protect your hood scoop, you'll keep your underhood temperatures lower, and it kind of finishes off the engine compartment really nice. So follow along here, and it's pretty simple. Start, you get the turbo heat shield. Here it is here. It's got a nice M7 logo on it. It's got a high-tech thermal insulation blanket on the back. It's made out of aluminum, heavy gauge sheet stock that's high temperature powder coated, and it has a high temperature weather stripping right here that will sit against the cam cover shield so that there's no squeaking or chafing. You also get two aluminum spacers. There's a short one and a long one. The short one goes on the left hand side, the long one goes on the right hand side, and of course you get two stainless steel bolts with washers. So that's it. It's basically two bolts, two washers, two spacers, and a heat shield, and we'll show you how to do it. Alright, so we're going to start the installation now. It's real easy. You need a 10mm socket on an extension. Caution here though, make sure the turbo is cold. You got to be able to touch this thing because it gets pretty hot. So do this when the car is cold. For two reasons. You won't hurt yourself, burn yourself, and the other reason is you'll have less chance of stripping out the holes inside the casting that hold these bolts because they get pretty soft when they get hot. So first thing to do is remove the far right hand side. And left-hand side bolts that hold the stock turbo heat shield in place. So this is pretty straightforward. One out. This one here is a little tricky. And also make sure you don't want to drop anything down because it's really hard to find parts once they drop down this engine compartment. Everything's so tight. So you have two bolts out. Next thing we do is we take our turbo heat shield here. Now this is a little bit different for each car. This is a Countryman, so this front radiator support's a little bit different, but R56 you'll have a little bit more room. But you feed this down over the top of the turbo just like that, pretty easy. These two holes will go down into the existing holes that we just took the bolts out. So remember the short spacer here, it's 3 3/8 long. This one here goes on the left side of the car or the right side as you're working on it, along with the short, long bolt. So this gets a little tricky, but just take your time. It's not that hard. Feed the bolt down in, put the spacer on the back side. Just like that. Line this up the best you can with that hole, and now using your fingers start that bolt. You can feel the threads. If you're worked on cars, you know what I mean. You don't want to cross or anything. So it's a 5mm hex for these bolts. So you just take your wrench, or T-wrench, or whatever you have, and get that started. And don't force it. It should start threading real easy. Second, you take your long bolt, a long spacer, which goes on your left-hand side or the right-hand side of the car. Feed this underneath. If I can get my fat fingers down there. Hold it over this hole, feed the bolt down in. And because the spacing is pretty accurate, this should sit right on top of the threaded hole. And there you go. Push down a little bit to compress that gasket. Make sure you're not cross-threaded. Tighten it up, and the spacer will lock this in place. So the spacer, you can tighten these bolts down. We recommend 30 inch-pounds if you have a torque wrench. If not, use a very short wrench and just give it a twist. Don't grunt and don't try to break them because everything's aluminum here and it will strip out. So that's it. We've installed a turbo heat shield on a 2013 R60 Mini Countryman. It's the exact same procedure on any 2007 and 2013 Turbo Mini Cooper. It's a great little do-it-yourself project. Took us how long? 4 minutes, 5 minutes. It really finishes off the engine compartment nice. You've protected your hood and your scoop if you have a scoop model car. You've reduced your underhood temperatures, and it finishes off the engine compartment really nice. So we're proud to bring you this product from M7 Tuning, and stay tuned. We got a lot of new stuff coming out, so just keep your eyes open. Visit our website regularly, sign up for our newsletter, and you'll get the latest new products from M7.